Hello. Hello. It is the 24th of February, and we're here for day 24 of the 10-minute portrait challenge. And I see this lag of me looking at the screen, wondering, am I live? And now it says 13 seconds in that I'm saying hello. One day I'll have this figured out and be able to say hello when this thing starts. Hi 81 Tizzle, Silke, Ike, Per, nice having you all here. Wherever you're joining from, I'd love you to say hello. Let me know what you're going to be sketching with. Today, we're going to be sketching a blues musician called Guy Davis, who I was just listening to as we started this, and has some lovely songs. And the way I actually have such a long list of people to draw, but this morning I was like, I wonder if I put into the search engine musician, who comes up? And I used DuckDuckGo as a search engine, and Guy Davis was the first face at the top of the list of musicians of the images. So I was like, oh, okay, let's draw Guy Davis. And I want to show you over here, I've got the reference, but I want to show you this. This is from yesterday. Every Thursday, Shannon and I have been having a long format conversation with artists and actors, photographers. Hi, Shannon. Here's Shannon in the chat. So Shannon and I host Drawn together, and we hang out and we talk with someone, and it's super fun. And yesterday we drew Adam Paquette, and it was a 2-hour conversation. It was brilliant. It was so inspiring, and it was really wonderful talking about art and painting and process and so many things. So go check that out. You can actually look, there's a playlist on my channel. There are a bunch of playlists, and if you look up Drawn Together playlist, you'll find a whole bunch of Drawn Together episodes, and it was really good. This is also a sketch from yesterday, and now we're going to do today's 10-minute portrait sketch. And here's this wonderful reference of Guy Davis. And I've linked to a couple of his songs down in the description. You can check in the description down below and follow that and watch a couple of his videos. And the second one that I posted too, he has this amazing white beard. It's a bit of a more recent photo than this one, I guess. Oh, and I've got the large format. I wanted to show you the whole shot here. Such a nice photo. It's beautiful. So we're zooming in on the face. I felt like the way the hat's sitting, the hat looks so big, so I've cropped in pretty tight on the hat, and this is how I'm going to draw it. So, hi Tom and Ronnie, nice to have you with us. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for having been here every time. 14 people watching, 6 likes so far. You could give me some more thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel, because we do lots of drawing together, and that's lots of fun. So let's draw Guy Davis. 10 minutes. Starting now. So how is everyone doing? It was really great, drawn together yesterday, and the 10-minute portraits. It's really wonderful seeing so many of you sharing your work on Instagram. And I know that some of you aren't on Instagram. Monica, you got in touch today. Thank you. I'll reply to your mail soon. I think I need to sneeze. I'm just gonna pretend I don't and see what happens. Do I need to sneeze? So yeah, it's been so nice seeing people's work, and I just love drawing together. So thank you all for being here, making that a thing. The Drawn Together shows and the 10-minute portrait challenge. It's super fun. Does anyone watching at the moment familiar with Guy Davis? I actually wasn't until I looked him up today, and sometimes I just like to kind of use the internet as an oracle for what should we do, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I put musician into the DuckDuckGo search, what images are going to come up, and he was at the top of the list, so here we go. There's my sneeze going to present itself or be reabsorbed. Is that a thing that can happen? What happens when sneezes don't get sneezed? Snows and where do they go? They obviously want to be sneezed. I usually just let them out, and they're usually very loud. Thank you for the Gesundheit. In lieu of an actual sneeze, can still wish for health. Is there anything? What's going on? What are people up to this Friday? I've got the kids this weekend. Kira's off teaching yoga in Braunschweig. I don't have to sneeze, but I'm going to have to blow my nose. As if I sneezed. But they go into the infinite potential of sneeze. That's what I was thinking. They recede back into the infinite potentiality, the place of all sneezes and all things, where everything comes from and returns to. That's where sneezes go. Yeah. I love the core shadow in this reference. It's so nice. And also the joy of this shot. Really cool. And this is another amazing one. I couldn't find Guy Davis anywhere on social media. There are some videos on YouTube floating around. And I think I have some friends who don't use social media. But it's often, because I use it so much, it's kind of it's fascinating to see how people do without. And obviously, judging by Guy's grey beard from a video from last year, he's been performing since before social media was a thing. And if that all just keeps rolling without having to feed the machine, there's wonderful things about social media. I love so much about it, but I'm also aware that it's a big advertising machine, and I appreciate all of your attention. And at the same time that I'm so intensively using social media, I also realize it's like this big thing just trying to show advertising. And I realized today, I was talking with Aiken about it, I'm pretty good at filtering out advertising, and I have like this inbuilt filter to not take it in, and Aiken doesn't yet, and I wonder if it's something that can be learned to like block out advertising. But anyway, it's as well as being this big advertising and marketing machine, it is also something that enables us to be here and draw together. So I'm very thankful for that. How dark is this? Fairly dark, not super dark. Yeah, so I really enjoyed the conversation with Adam yesterday. It was so cool. And also enjoyed the result of my portrait. It was interesting. I felt like with Mafalda last week, I also loved the chat, but I felt really after an hour and a half that the portrait was not done. And that sometimes I do these 10-minute portraits and I feel like, yeah, that's good, it's done. And then an hour and a half and I was like, huh? But we had this great conversation about, there were many things that came up in the conversation about taking time, redoing things, erasing things, and about the process not being an instantaneous thing, or when you come to the place where you know how it's going to be, and it's like you expect, oh yeah, this is the way I paint and this is the way it's going to be, and once you reach that point, you can be like, oh, but hang on, do I just want to settle into that, or do I want to like smudge it all out and start again? Or it was a super interesting, inspiring conversation, and it was really nice then to settle into a 2-hour portrait session, which is so different than a 10-minute portrait session. It was really cool, and thanks to everyone who joined that. Shannon and I, and hopefully people watching, but definitely Shannon and I, we get so much out of these conversations. It's amazing. And also there has been quite an incredible synchronicity in some of the things that come up in the conversations, and the things that we're experiencing that day, or even just before we get on, something happens, and then the guest, without knowing what has just happened, they'll be like talking about something somehow connected, and it's like, wow, it's so cool. I love those kind of things when they happen. Yeah, Ronnie, you're thankful too. Me too, it's so good. I resisted like some aspects of social media quite a bit for a while, and I think it was also good. Like there was a phase where I was like right into it, and then I felt it was really kind of in not in a constructive way, and then I had to take a break, and then I got off. I left Facebook for a year, and then I decided, I think it was like in that phase, I stopped using Facebook for like a year. It's like it'd be good to show my work and connect with people somehow. And then I kind of discovered Instagram, and I was like, oh, it's kind of like Facebook, but it's so image based at that time, before all the video stuff happened. And I loved the image focus of it, and it was a great way just to simply share work that I was working on and to be inspired by the work that other people were doing. Yeah, that was really cool. And then after that phase of Facebook fasting, I kind of returned to oh, that's not what I thought it was. It's a jar of blueberry ink or something sitting over there. Maybe this will work. What was I just talking about? Oh yeah, the way we use social media. I just saw the time ticking, tick, tick, ticking. He's been coming up and visiting me during my live streams. I was just reading a comic to him, and I was like, this time you stay downstairs. It's only going to be 15 minutes. And then I'll be back. So he may be able to stay downstairs for a quarter of an hour. Ah, what a cool reference photo. Thank you, Shannon, for your support and vote of confidence. I'm liking this portrait right now too. And that's the thing, like I think it's so interesting. I've kind of like, that's our 10 minutes. I've really focused on this time frame, this 10-minute process the past few months. And I've kind of, I still like to approach different images a bit differently, but I definitely feel like I've been able to settle into a process or a few kind of variations on the theme. And I think it's been really good for me and my process this month just to focus on ink, as opposed to December where I was like using every medium pretty much. This has really helped me kind of really get focused on the way I can use this medium in this time frame. And that was cool. That was fun. That's our 10 minutes. And thank you so much, Guy Davis, for your music. And yeah, I recommend you all go check it out. I've been listening to Lil Yachty a lot. Let's Start Here. A few days ago, we drew Lil Yachty. I'm gonna stop here. And that album is really cool. I'm digging it at the moment. Related, M made me realize why I can draw and talk at the same time now. I was thinking about writing a blog post about it. Cool. I would love to read that blog post. Thanks for being here, everyone. Come back and draw with me tomorrow. Bring friends if you like, because the more the merrier. And I would love you to use these hashtags, and you can tag me. And if if you tag me in stories, it's super easy on Instagram for me to then share it to my stories. It's like, bam, share to stories. And I love sharing your work. And I love that we're able to do this together. It's so much fun. And if you feel like spending more time on this, you can spend more time. If you feel like doing another 10-minute portrait, I have a 10-minute portrait playlist on my YouTube channel, which now has, I don't know how many live stream recordings on it. There's so much to draw and see and do. And I look forward to joining you here again tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to be drawing Billie Eilish, which will be cool. She's got some pretty incredible music, and it's interesting that she started getting famous at 15. It's kind of like, and I remember reading a newspaper article that Tom York from Radiohead, who I would also like to draw sometime, he had said in this article and interview that the only thing interesting happening in pop right now is Billie Eilish. I was like, who's Billie Eilish? And then I looked her up, and yeah, we're going to draw her tomorrow. So the hat line pulled it all together. Cool. I'm glad I did it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your friendship, your watching eyes, your participation, and your drawing together. I love it. And I love that you're here to draw with me. So see you. You'll see me. I'd love to see you in the chat, and I'd love to see your work very soon. See you next time. Am I gone? Am I gone? Am I gone?